With Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny now hitting theaters, it seemed like a perfect time to rank all five Indiana Jones movies ranked from the worst. Well, I mean, not really worst, from the weakest to the most amazing and iconic. Now, let me just say before we start this, I don't think there's a bad movie in this entire franchise. There's one weak one, but I still have enjoyment with it. And now with all that said, let's get started. In last place for me is Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls. I don't think this movie's bad. I think it's a meh movie. I'm more mixed on it. Now, I did just rewatch it because so I could see the fifth movie in theaters, and we will get to that soon enough. But anyway, I did notice some more flaws when I watched it. The Mutt reveal I was not crazy about at all. I felt like that was kind of lazy with the writing. They could easily have done some better stuff. Some of the writing in the movie's not very good. The story's probably not the best. And I know a lot of people like to dump and complain on like Mutt's character. I think he's really good in the film. I really have fun with this character. They need to make like a prequel to Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny where we get to see Mutt have his own like movie. George Lucas, do it.
Do it! Just do it!
I don't think this movie deserves half the hate it gets. It gets a lot of hate. Like, it has been publicly trashed for years, like, as the worst indie film. It's the worst indie film, but it's still good. And I feel like it needs some more respect, especially since there are some things that have done good, but there have been some scenes that have really tainted its legacy, like the nuke the fridge scene. In fourth place is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, the newly released film. Now, this film was a fun experience at the movies. I saw this with a friend of mine, and it was pretty good. Now, I think this film's at its best when it's giving us like little callbacks to the original three films, and in some cases the other film, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but it does have some moments that it is good. Now, this film did lose me in the third act. It went off the rails in the third act. Like, they do something to the character that it lost me there. They did the Disney trope, and Disney it's basically their trademark. They're taking all these iconic boy characters and replacing them with women. It's something that Hollywood is doing, and they need to be stopped. But I do think this film is fun. It has some really good action scenes. Although the thing I really point out when I watch Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and Dial of Destiny is they have way too much CGI and green screen going on. Like, it is overblown with CGI and green screen. So they need to tone that part down a lot. Like, the first three did not have very much CGI. It was like a lot of practical effects. That's what made them so good. Meanwhile, you go to 4 and 5, you get some you get bloated CGI and bloated green screen. It needs to slow down. And overall, it's a fun time. I give this like a 7 out of 10. And I will stick with that. I give like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull like 6.5 out of 10. And I think this film is good, but I do think it could have been better if they like turned some things around in the third act. But overall, a good movie and a fun time at the movies. In third place, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Now, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this because a lot of people, you absolutely love this film. It's like it's like your number one. I know a lot of people that have it at their number one because it's just really their favorite. Sometimes just for the fact that it's a lot more brutal than the first. I think the story in this one is nowhere near as good as the first movie. The characters are nothing compared to the first. Like, Indy's written better than the first movie. The girlfriend is nothing compared to, like, Willie is awful compared to what's her name? What is her name? I know, it's like on the tip of my tongue, it'll come to me, but Willie is a terrible, girlfriend. She is so annoying, the way she complains. She might be my least favorite movie character I have ever seen, and that is hard because I know some bad characters, and she is, oh boy, oh, what a piece of work she is. She could at least try to have something. The only defining characteristic she has is how annoying and how much yelling she does. Other than that, she's just some girl thrown into the mix. I do like Short Round in this. It would have been good if they had like done something with him in the other movies, like I don't know, like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull or Dial of Destiny, giving him like a small role or something. That would have been good, like a callback. But he's just like shrugged off after this, even though he's like one of my favorite characters in the entire franchise. He's top tier here. Sorry, he is a top tier character in my opinion, and I do think this movie's good. It's like a 7.5 out of 10. I do think it's a lot better than the other two on this list, and it has some really good moments. It's just, it's very dark for my taste, especially things like the heart scene. Ugh. Yeah, that is, ooh. But overall, a really good movie, which I do find to be good, but just I don't enjoy it as some of you other people do. In second place, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. A lot of you people also would have this high on your list, like, love it. I do love this film. It's like, this is a 9 out of 10 movie, maybe 10 out of 10. It depends on the day. And, oh, this movie is amazing. There's just so many iconic scenes here, and getting James Bond as Indy's dad was amazing. Getting Sean Connery in this was great. Because the two roles he's probably known most for are James Bond will always be known as his best character, but I think second best will always be Indy's father. He's like a scene stealer, and he is this person that you think is really funny because this has probably some of the best comedy in the entire franchise. A lot of the ones were like really dark and serious, like Temple of Doom and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Others, I think, like, try to go way too goofy and over the top, like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and Dial of Destiny. This is just, like, right in the middle. This is, like, really good at the balancing part of it, and it's an iconic movie. The opening scene's amazing. We get into flashback, and Dial of Destiny had a good flashback, too, but this one does it a lot better. And I just really love this movie. It's, I think, in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I believe it was. When I did it, yeah, it was. I think it was number 9, I believe. And I love this movie, and depending on what day it is a 10 out of 10 movie, and right now I am feeling like it is a 10 out of 10 movie, and it is amazing. But easily coming into first place is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Oh, this is awesome. This is my favorite adventure movie of all time. It is my 5th favorite movie of all time. It's dripping with just iconic moments. It has so many amazing quotes that, oh wow, I just love this movie. I consider this movie to be one of those movies that is absolutely flawless. I couldn't name like, if someone broke into my house and put me at gunpoint saying, name a flaw in Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, I would say, you probably have to put a bullet in me because there's not a single flaw in that movie. Because, wow, this is awesome. And while there are movies that do have flaws that are higher on my list, I just think this movie is good. I think this actually is my 4th favorite. It's either 5 or 4, I think. I think the movies, it's either, Raiders of the Lost Ark and the Terminator switch a lot between which one I like more. It kind of depends on what day it is and what mood I'm in. But right now, I'm actually going to say it's at number 4 after being in an indie mood for this ranking and because I just watched Dial of Destiny. And it also makes you think some more about Raiders of the Lost Ark, seeing as they do a lot of callbacks in the 5th movie to the original, which make you take a look at some of these things, and it is just so amazing. While there are people that prefer Temple of Doom for its darker tone, while there are people that prefer Last Crusade because of its like father-son story, I know a lot of people that do because my dad actually prefers Last Crusade to Raiders of the Lost Ark. And while I can respect that people would have those movies higher, personally, I'm just a big fan of the original. And I'm sorry you cannot get me to change my mind. I love this movie. it will always be the best Indiana Jones movie, since most likely Indy 5 was the last one, because Harrison Ford is 80 years old now. And not to mention he is slowly losing his memory, sadly. And I mean, it's very sad, Harrison Ford, and you were an amazing job as Indy. Thank you very much, and thank you very much, Harrison Ford, for this. This is an amazing movie. And thank you all for watching this video. Like and subscribe, please. If you don't want to, it's completely fine, but I beg you to. I'm trying to reach my goal of 100 subscribers, which I'm hoping is possible. And if we all work together on like doing the subscribing thing, maybe it can actually happen. So please, every single person that is watching this, if you are not already, please subscribe. And thank you all for watching. Have a good one.